Sexual sin is not a new thing in the world today. It is also not a new thing in the church. The way sexual sins are being glorified in the world today, one would think it was a normal thing for everyone to do. It has worsened that if you don't commit these sins, people will look at you like you are weird. You may be thinking they should applaud you for being pure and holy. They will insult you instead and call you names. This is what society has turned into, and it has crept into the church. There is immorality in the Church of Christ today, and people are turning a blind eye to it because they don't want to be seen as.
I hope that has inspired you to go and watch more of this Land of Judah video. It is very inspiring, especially if you're taking a walk or doing something. This is something that I usually do, and it has helped build my faith. Now, the second video that you watch is similar to Line of Judah, but um, it has a little twist to it, and I'm not going to show you all the videos. I'm just going to direct you guys to some of the videos I've watched throughout the years, or that have just built me with sexual sin and understanding of how to, just stay pure for God.
If you read the Bible, you'll notice that a lot of the time when talking about sin, we are told to put to death the sins of the flesh, or we're told to resist the devil and he will flee from you. We're told to pray always, lest we fall into temptation. Or in the Old Testament, we're told, do not commit adultery, do not worship idols, do not kill. However, one sin in the Bible is addressed differently to the rest. We're told to deal with sexual sin differently because the Bible doesn't tell us to resist sexual sin.
Testimony from a girl in Africa who says she went to hell for fornication. And I know a lot of times we're told that no, man, you can't go to hell for sexual sin, and which is a big lie from hell. This is why once a prophet told me that when Jesus sees me fornicating before I was even saved, he weeps, he cries, and I didn't know why. I was like, but God, everyone does it. And now seeing that people actually go to hell, and now I also see that a lot of things that were supposed to come into my life have been stolen by the enemy, and there's just a lot of testimonies that I'll bring to you guys. Continue subscribing and watching this channel because I've just started, and there are some amazing testimonies I've seen. I don't know, I've just been called to talk about sexual sin because it's something that even very young people are doing, and it takes away from you. And later on you'll see that I'll just prescribe you to go and watch a video on a lady who was attacked by a virgin girl in prayer, and it's so beautiful. It's also in this series that I'm showing you guys. Thank you so much. Please do subscribe, because I don't want you guys to miss out. I'm still going to create videos on this other guy who was rapping and making music for the devil, and without even his knowledge, he was actually selling his soul. And when he manifested, I know people love to say manifesting all the time. When that happened, his father came in, and the devil was like, no, this guy got 50,000 views for talking about me. And I've also seen a testimony from someone, a man. I'm also going to include it here definitely on this channel, where he had an experience of Judgment Day, and the Lord saw that there was a lady, and the lady was standing in front of the Lord, and she said, okay, God, okay, fine, she can't say anything either. I mean, so God said, you posted something on Facebook. I'm not judging you for posting. You do sins. We all commit sins that are affecting ourselves or our families. But he says, I'm judging you for the 300,000 people, the 300,000 lives that you've impacted with that post, that comment. And you sometimes say things. I was actually, before, when I was learning how to create and edit videos, I would take content from celebrities and all of these big guys, and just make it into shorts and post it. But I had to delete all of those videos because I saw that video. Now this is Posha Mahal, my journey from, you'll check a channel, it's a journey from evil, from darkness to light. And so she talks about how she met with a pure girl, a virgin girl, and she was trying to destroy her, but nothing could happen. She was untouchable. Why? Because not only was she pure or praying all the time, but she had that authority in spirit. Naturally, the reason why virgins are being attacked so much is because they can literally take Christian virgin people can take authority over regions. They can command, they can pray, they can destroy any altar that has been created by the devil. And that's not only, I think you'll watch Rorisang's video. It's the last video I'll add here. She says, okay, being a virgin is easy. The difficult part is being pure, having faith, loving your family, loving God, spending time with God, just the other part of being a Christian. Now, having all of those together, the girl used to get to work early before everyone else to pray and cover the workplace that she was in. And I just want you to be inspired and go watch this video.
I went back to my things. I check. Manje, what happened? Me back. They are quiet. Sorry. They were quiet. I sent the second one. I gave him something to just rub or on the doorway of that office. Second attempt. Me back.
Now I'd like you guys to go and watch Erica Mukisa. She is an amazing woman. She's always, talking about God, and she would be talking about the things of the spirit with, what she's experienced, what she's seen, how she's been in the occultic world for 18 years. And with that, she's just been in the spiritual world without her own. She was 2 years old when she got initiated by her grandmother. And so, after having sat on the laps of the devil, being in hell, killed at 8 years old, she started her own accident. I mean, you can imagine just how much of an evil life she's led and how much of the evil side she knows. Now she was, having an interview with Faith Karuri. You will have to watch maybe from part one. I think it's about 2 years ago when she took the videos, and I watched it 2, 3 years ago. Watch from Faith Karuri's testimonies from part one, where she explains how they even teach them what to do, how to twerk. They even flew them to, in the spirit to India, where they learn the master of sex and how to, perverse everything. That's why when people promoting certain sexual acts in marriages, it becomes a very questionable topic, because if the witches are teaching people to teach other couples on how to pervert sex, then there's something wrong. And another thing that I also learned from her is that they would they would give them scripts on, okay, go to the people, tell them this, tell them, we've always heard people say, how can you marry someone you don't know, you've never been with them, you've never tested them, all of those kind of things. That's what they would actually come back and tell. She talks about that, on the things that you should listen to when you have a friend who is sent by the devil to lead you to fornication. You still a virgin? They make fun of you and all of those. She's 33 years old and she's still a virgin.
Because me,
And
myself
she
and I,
says
between me
she's
and
not
him,
celibate,
wants
she's
to
a
stick
virgin
it
and
through.
waiting
Three,
for
the
God.
lucky guy who gets to get me will.
And she does speak that she's waiting for God, and that it gets tough. In fact, it really gets tough when you are trying to go on with life, seeing that she's 33 years old right now. Your peers, even younger, have 2 3 children, and you still waiting for that man who will not feel as though you having waited for her is a gift to her, because you are doing it for yourself as well. So she speaks about this, and it's just so amazing. I think you should literally just watch this. There are parts where she speaks in Tutu, but just a little here and there, and but you'll understand, because the lady she's speaking to does not speak Tutu, so she always explains what's happening.
Reap the benefits of something he never worked for.
Yeah,
Right? But will be a blessing from the Lord. But he is not my main goal.
sure.
Right? I'm more interested in being given somebody by God
that will love me, will see everything that God has put in me. And I'm sure it's great to have a great sex life.
Yeah.
But it's not the only thing.
Hello, Wisdom and Wellness family. Welcome to season 4 of our podcast. I want to talk about your purity ring. I had a question and I was just like, do I go there? Am I invading her privacy?
No.
But now you mentioned it.
They've invaded me over and over again.
How old were you when you put it on?
I decided to wait for marriage when I was 12. Silver ring thing came in when I was 14.
Okay, so at 12, when you decide to wait for marriage, what is that based on? Is it based on Mama's Bible teachings?
It was definitely based on my mom's Bible teachings.
Okay.
Soul food.
So here she talks about a show called Soul Food. She was watching it with friends, and her mom found them watching it, and I don't know the show, but she literally made them go to bed. But in the morning, there was a whole Bible study on having to wait and not hurrying into love. Don't provoke love if you're not ready for it. So if you're watching, I think what the devil does is he puts out all this romantic movies and shows, and there's just rom-coms and romantic comedies everywhere, making you feel lonely every time you watch them because I actually have a brother who is waiting as well, but he'd always tell me I don't have anything to watch. It's like, but these are, they are not as bad as action movies and stuff. And it's like the thing is when I watch romantic movies, I feel like I'm provoking a side of me that I don't want to provoke. I feel lonely. I start thinking, oh my word, if I could have this person, if I could have this experience, and so on. And now with what she's saying, I can experience, I can actually think of it. And I just thank God because 2 years ago, I prayed. I prayed and I asked God, please give me a man, a husband, who's truly yours. And yes, my husband is not perfect. In fact, the situation was perfect because he waited until his family came, and lobola and they spoke to my family before I went to visit him for the first time. And that is something that happened while I was not even a virgin. I just decided, you know what, I want to change my ways. I started praying, and I prayed for a husband who will understand that, and he did, and he loved me, and it happened, and we're still married. We're happily married. And I've noticed that we had so many challenges in our marriage, but the devil could not get in. Why? Because we invited God first. He was the first one in our marriage. We didn't invite demons and all other spirits that come with sex and impurity and fornication before getting into marriage. And that has sustained us through the toughest of times. And it's just amazing to see that. In fact, when you follow God and you stay celibate or you stay as a virgin, you will reap great things.
Monday. If you guys remember Soul Food,
I could never watch an episode, but I just know
there was a show called Soul Food.
Soul Food,
So the one time like that, we're watching Soul Food because it was nice.
with your mom.
No, we would have
Of
died.
course not.
We would we would have died that day. I think they did like repeats, and I don't know, we were up late at night and she came through. We thought she slept and she came and she saw us watching Soul Food or something like that. And then there was Bible study the next morning.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Daughters of Zion, do not stay up love before it's time.
Daughters of Zion
Yes,
at 12.
Deuteronomy, do not stay up love before it's time. And she did a quick teaching about it. Also, when we started our periods, we went to Lesotho. My grandmother said, "Ngwana na ha qala kopana le moshemane ba etsa ngwana." So it was almost like the sex talk,
Yeah.
but wrapped up in our faith.
Was it ever fear-based or always love-based?
A bit of both.
Okay.
Now that I'm older, I can tell it's a bit of both.
Okay.
I think any parent who's like, hey, I wasn't ready, because you don't know when your kid is going to come up to you or watch something or ask you a question you're not ready to answer. But I love the fact that she included our grandmother, that there was a conversation.
Community.
Yeah, and my sister was rolling her eyes because like, no, that's not how it works. Your periods don't mean you're gonna fall pregnant. But we went
get
with the
the
punches.
gist.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But at 14, there was understanding. It was because it was scriptural, it was a teaching, and it was designed for my peers.
Yes, and if you are going to be a mom, or if you're a mom, you have children and you see this, make sure you give it to them Don't say, ah, Bayagi and they're all doing it every way, or this is happening all over the world, and then you ignore putting in the work and teaching your children. I think when I listen to Rorisang, I see that she had a mom who was I can say my mom was very spiritual. She's very spiritual. She prays, but the sex talks and everything, she never really got into those things. We had to ask her first, and she was not really comfortable. I think that's how she was raised. But she always tells us about God and the spiritual world. The spiritual world is something we don't play with. So yes, if you want to learn more about just how you can walk on a journey of purity with God, and how you can stay celibate and just actually reap, the benefits of not having sex before marriage, you should surely watch this podcast. It's amazing. It'll build your faith. You'll stay stronger, and you won't listen to people who are going to try and come and tell you otherwise. So yeah.